Hi, my name is Olivia. I've landed just in time to catch another segment of Daily AI Prompts for Job Seekers with William Craig III. Today, Mr. Craig will be demonstrating another powerful prompt to help us use AI effectively in our job search. I can't wait to see what he's going to share with us. And the best part is, I can watch the replay on his LinkedIn profile or his YouTube channel at Get Up and Get a Job. Okay, fasten your seatbelts. Mr. Craig is about to take off.
All right. Thank you so much, Olivia. And welcome back to those of you who have been following the series, either in person or by watching the replays. And a warm welcome if it's your very first time joining. This is Daily AI Prompts for Job Seekers, and I'm William Craig III, a professional career coach. I have a clear mission for this series to help you move beyond overwhelm and into action. You see, the fact is, people who put out resources with hundreds of AI prompts are very well-meaning, but I've found that too many prompts can actually be paralyzing. So instead, I've focused on giving you just one powerful, practical prompt each and every day. And the goal is simple: to help you run your job search or your job campaign with clarity, confidence, and strategy using AI as your assistant, not your replacement. So today, as always, we're building on that momentum. And if you've missed any of the segments, feel free to watch the replays on my LinkedIn profile, William W. Craig III, or my YouTube channel called Get Up and Get a Job. Alrighty, so this week, what have we been focusing on? We've been helping our fictitious job candidate, Mary, to be successful during the first days, weeks, and months on the new job. For those of you who may have just joined us, you can go back and you can watch from the very beginning as we started on this job search, if you will. And we've been progressing day by day, one prompt a day, to help us to be successful in all of the facets of our job, what I call a job campaign. Many of you call a job search. But before we get to today's prompt, it looks like we've got a comment. Let me find my mouse. Come on over here. Here we are. It's almost like it's alive. Okay, it's my good friend Daniel from New York City. Hey, well, hello, William and team. Well, hello, Daniel. So glad that you're here. And for those of you who have joined us via YouTube, you know that you're going to get the prompt, a copy of the link to the prompt that we're going to do today. You'll get that in the comment section, so stick around for that. If you're joining by LinkedIn, hey, thanks for joining us. So glad. And even those of you who are on Facebook, appreciate you being here as well. All right, so let's take a look at what we got for today. What is ChatGPT going to help us with? Well, today we're going to create a personal development plan for Mary's first quarter that aligns with eventual promotion to accounts receivable, accounts payable, supervisor, or manager. As you know, our character, Mary, is an accounts receivable, accounts payable specialist. She just got a new job with the XYZ company, and boy, is she excited. She sent out emails to her colleagues to tell them, hey, I'm here and I'm looking forward to learning with you, working with you all. We also created an action plan that she can use as it relates to her 30, 60, 90 days on the job. But here we go. Now, as you all may remember, those of you who have been with us for a while, you know that Mary's goal is to become a supervisor or a manager. And so now that she has the job, we're going to set her on the path so that she can have some advancement in her career. So let's see what ChatGPT comes up with. And again, you know that this is a prompt that I created, but I didn't put it through chat yet because we do that live together. All right, so here we go. Here's a personal development plan, PDP, for Mary's first quarter in her new ARAP specialist role, designed to build momentum towards an eventual promotion into an ARAP supervisor or manager role. It balances technical mastery, leadership development, and relationship building. This ought to be interesting. So Mary's first quarter personal development plan, her goal, position for future promotion to ARAP supervisor or manager, by developing leadership skills, deepening technical expertise, and demonstrating initiative. So, number one, okay, weeks 1 through 12. Objective is to strengthen system and process expertise to become a go-to resource. Actions Mary's going to take: gain proficiency in company ERP system, for example, NetSuite, Stripe, and Salesforce. We've had some conversations about that, but you have to, if you missed it, you'll have to watch the replays. Lead at least one process documentation effort, for example, an invoice workflow or an SOP, inverse. Okay, if I learn to speak English, I'll be okay today. Invoice workflow SOP. There we got it. And shadow senior staff on month-end close and reconciliations. Now, let me just say something about this. This doesn't necessarily happen automatically. This might have to be something that Mary actually goes to her supervisor, her manager, and says, hey, look, I'd really like to process one documentation effort, for example, an invoice workflow SOP. I'd like to shadow you or John or Jane on the month-end close and reconciliations process to start to give her that experience. I'll never forget, I was in a position where my manager was seeding my work. I had my role, but she was seeding my work with project management work and responsibilities. And so after the appointed time and after taking some PMP classes, she said, look, you've been doing project management work all this time. It's only right that you have the position. And I got that promotion to project manager for special projects. So again, these are the kinds of things that you got to show the initiative. The success metrics: recognized as a reliable subject matter contact for APAR processes, and demonstrated ability to complete month-end tasks with less than 2% error rate. Very cool stuff here. All right, weeks 4 through 12, leadership readiness. Objective: build management skills through small-scale leadership opportunities. The actions Mary will take: mentor or support onboarding of a new colleague, intern, or temp, if that's appropriate. There's some companies that may not be hiring, so we may need to find something else to replace this action with. Volunteer to lead weekly AR agent report review with the team. That's a good one. Enroll in a free or low-cost leadership micro course. For example, Coursera has a leadership communication, or LinkedIn Learning has a finance team management basics course. And so that would be fantastic to help her. Success metrics: getting positive feedback from peers and manager on communication guidance. You can conduct your own unofficial 360. Yeah, you can ask the people that are above you, the people that are on your level, or people that may report to you, if that be the case, even vendors, to give feedback as you go along the way. But we'll get into that another time. Completion of leadership training course and applied learning in team settings. So take what she's learned in these courses and apply it in her work, just as I was doing. All right, here we go. Weeks 6 through 12, process improvement and innovation. Objective here: demonstrate problem solving and initiative beyond the core tasks. Mary will identify one inefficiency in ARAP workflow. Maybe there's duplicate data entry or slow follow-up cadence, and highlight that and come up with a solution. Propose and pilot a small improvement. Maybe it's automation, maybe it's a template, or maybe it's how we report things. We can tweak that. And then track the time savings or accuracy improvements from the change. The success metrics: documented improvement with measurable impacts. In other words, show how what you've done has actually helped the team. Reduced unapplied payments by maybe 10% would be one example of that. And then hopefully you get that recognition from your supervisor for being proactive. Now, for those of you who are naysayers and going, no, I can't do that because then they're just going to steal my stuff. That's not the way to think, okay? remember this, you always have a running resume. What is a running resume? You told me about a raving resume. What's a running resume? That means once you get the job, you are constantly updating your resume with the accomplishments that you are creating. You know how hard it was for you to do that resume when we got to the part of doing a resume? Why? Because now you had to go back and try to remember all the things you had done because you were not keeping track. You didn't have stats. You didn't know what you did. And now we had to guesstimate in some cases. Well, no more of that. Once you get on this next job, you're going to methodically keep track. And this gives you a game plan, not only to help you with moving up, if that happens, because the truth is you could do all of this and still not be promoted. But as we are now rebuilding that resume and creating that running resume, guess what we can do? We can begin to shop that resume to show others the good things that we're able to do and see if maybe someone else can appreciate the work that we're doing. All righty. And here we go. Weeks 1 through 12 of relationship building. So all the way through 1 through 12, develop cross-functional collaboration skills for future supervisory role. That's pretty cool. So schedule one-on-one introductions with finance peers, sales reps, operations leads. I don't know, maybe your company would have a cafeteria where you can say, hey, what are you doing for lunch tomorrow or the next day? We'd love to sit down and talk to you about a couple of things. Partner with at least one department to resolve a dispute or streamline a payment issue. Build rapport with vendors by handling communications clearly and professionally. And you could always, as I said earlier, as it relates to that 360, you could reach out and touch them and say, hey, how did everything go last month as it relates to the communication, how I handled that situation with that invoice, whatever the case may be. Is there anything I could have done differently to help you out? So again, people appreciate this when they feel like you're doing something to help them. All right, success metrics, positive feedback from at least 2 cross-functional colleagues, demonstrated collaboration leading to faster dispute resolution. So again, the proof of the pudding is in the eats. And then here we go. Now, weeks 10 through 12, what you're adding on is visibility and career positioning. Oh my goodness, I see where this is going. You're laying the groundwork, Mary, for that promotion consideration. So what are you going to do? You're going to schedule quarterly check-in with manager to review progress and discuss long-term career goals. Can I tell you how surprised your manager is going to be when you voluntarily ask for a check-in, when you voluntarily ask for an unofficial performance review? I mean, they just don't have that happening every day. So you're going to stand out from the crowd for sure. Plus, it creates a great barometer for you to see how things are going. Do you have a manager that is encouraging and is one that is pushing you towards promotion or advancement? Or do you have one of those managers who is threatened, who feels like, oh my goodness, Mary's getting a little bit too high in the pants here. She's going to be taking over my job soon, or others are going to be looking at her to consider her to take over my job. Because, I've kind of been on thin ice. You never know what's going on with a person. Just because they're in a supervisory role doesn't mean their position is stable. Anyway, does it matter? Remember what I said. We're creating a running resume while we're doing these things. Share personal development achievements, process improvements, leadership actions, and express interest in a supervisory track and request feedback on next steps. And again, you might be in a situation where your office, your company, your group doesn't have room for you to grow. Of course, that's one of the things that you should consider before even taking the position. If you are one of those people who wants to be on a supervisory or a management track, well, in doing your research on the company, on the group, on the team, that's one of the things you need to find out. Worst case scenario, you're in the interview asking that question, but you should already know that if you can do the research to find out by reaching out to people who are members of the company or even members of the team before you have that interview, or the recruiter, of course. All righty, let's see here. Success metrics, documented PDP progress, share with manager. Hey, here's what I set. Here are the goals that I set for myself. And I've hit every one of them. I've hit 3 out of 4 of them. Would you be willing to help me to get to this next goal? Clear roadmap established for growth towards the supervisor or management role. And so you can begin to see clearly how this is leading to a supervisory or a management role just because of the things that you set out to do, have accomplished, and the effect that they have had on the continuity of business wherever you may be. All right, so here we go. End of quarter outcome. Mary is not only proficient in her AR/AP responsibilities, but is also seen as a leader in training. I like that term. An LIT. She's lit, y'all. She's lit. Someone who improves processes, mentors others, collaborates across departments, and positions herself as ready for advancement. Now, chat says, would you like me to also turn this into a visual one-page roadmap, PowerPoint style? Mary could share in a check-in with her manager to make her growth plan tangible and professional. And chat, I got to give you a thumbs up because that's a great idea. I'm not going to say yes here, but I'm going to let you all say yes. Take this prompt, make it your own, pop in the information that's relevant to you. And you can do that because I'm about to give you the link to this prompt. And hopefully you can see how by walking with me daily through these AI prompts, you have actually created a plan from start to finish. And that was my goal, to create a plan to help you to navigate how you're going to not just find a job, but once you get a job, what you're going to do to keep that job and to move up. And before the year is out, we're going to start talking about ways that you can create or generate income while you're looking for a job, if you are still looking, or once you get the job, because for many of you, part of the reason why you're in the situation that you're in is because your job failed for some reason. It went away. Not necessarily any fault of your own. The job ceased to exist. So as we're looking to get the new job, let's put some things in place that we can so that we can help be prepared. Hey, maybe we won't need a job, right? But if you do get that next job, or maybe you have a job and you're looking at, well, what are some things that I can do to bring in additional income? Then, like I said, we're going to be talking about that. And hopefully that's something that you all are interested in. So let me go ahead and put this prompt into the comment section for those of you on YouTube. And there you have it. And it looks like we had another comment come in. Let's see here. Hello, everyone. PDP. What a great way to take charge of your journey and show the initiative. Yeah. And here's the thing. Thanks, TJ. At the end of the day, most of us hear PDP and it's like, dum, 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 because, this is HR. Your manager's putting you on a personal or a PIP, personal improvement plan, personal development plan. It's all the same. But no, this is I was about to say a self-inflicted wound. But this is being proactive. This is saying, hey, I value my success enough to come up with a plan of action so that I can continue to grow and move forward. And definitely I can tell you this is a bonus. I'm not going to charge you for this one. A little sprinkle of AI sauce on this wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't hurt one bit. All righty. That's all I got for you today. I'm so glad that you're able to join me. Remember to share daily AI prompts for job seekers with someone you know who's unemployed, underemployed, or just unhappily employed. And let them know they can watch on my YouTube channel, Get Up and Get a Job, or they can watch on my LinkedIn profile at William W. Craig III. Up, something popped up. Let's see what this is. Continuous improvement plan. I like that. Daniel's a sipper. He's a sipper. Continuous improvement plan, CIP. Hey, listen, you all have a wonderful rest of your day. and stay safe in all you do. And I look forward to close out the week with you tomorrow. God bless everybody. Bye-bye now.
Wow, that was fantastic. I haven't been this excited to learn about something since I left basketball. Anyway, Mr. Craig did another great job of sharing an AI prompt that anyone can use in their job search. Be sure to join him every day, Monday through Friday at noon Eastern, on his LinkedIn profile or his YouTube channel called Get Up and Get a Job. You can watch the replays there as well. And while you're at it, share this information with someone you know who wants or needs a new job. I've got to run. My team needs me. But keep up the great work, Mr. Craig. You're providing a great service for the community. I'm going to tell all of my players about daily AI prompts for job seekers with William Craig III.